So in 2001, Hollywood made Legally Blonde starring Reese Witherspoon. It was a massive success. Audiences loved the story of Elle Woods, your stereotypical Californian sorority girl, and her journey to win back her ex-boyfriend by joining Harvard Law. Now, she soon realizes that there's more to life than just dumb boys with no moral backbone. So in 2002, Hollywood was like, let's hire Reese Witherspoon again. And hey, you remember how like audiences like cheered on Elle when she marched up to Paulette's ex-boyfriend and took the dog back? Oh, and how they loved it when like Elle went to court dressed in pink head to toe and just was unapologetically herself and then also winning said court case? Yeah, that was like great, right? And they were like, let's like do none of that. And that's how they made Sweet Home Alabama. Hello, I'm Joanie. If you're new here, hi, how's it going? If you're a returning viewer, oh my god, hi again! Yeah, sorry, I haven't posted in ages. You know, life just happened. I don't know, but now I'm back, and I've got something to share with you guys. Now, I love watching movies. Especially rom-coms. Like, I'm pretty sure 50 years from now, when they put me in a old person home, like, I will be watching Pride and Prejudice on repeat. I will be watching Clueless. I will be watching any type of rom-com. And most of the time, I do enjoy rom-coms. Like, they never go wrong for me. Until this one. Like, I've never been so baffled and confused by one rom-com than this. So today, we will be talking about Sweet Home Alabama. Which, yes, crazy name. Like, imagine telling someone that your favorite film is Sweet Home Alabama. Like, they would think you were into making the family tree look like a family reef. Okay, like, horribly named film aside, I actually don't hate this film. Sweet Home Alabama is like the Wario version of Legally Blonde. It's not super evil, it's just, like, weird and off-putting, but still charming enough that I'll still finish it and enjoy it. For those of you who haven't watched the film, don't. I mean, like, unless you like cheesy garbage, then yeah, like, go ahead. But yeah, I will be spoiling this entire film. So here's like the Spark Notes version of it. So we have Reese Witherspoon, who plays Melanie. She is this girl from Alabama who's moved to New York, and she's a successful fashion designer. Now she gets engaged to New York's most eligible bachelor, which is a boy named Andrew, played by Patrick Dempsey, and he's also the mayor's son. But there's a little problem. She's actually still married to Jake, her ex from Alabama, and so she has to go back to Alabama to go get him signed the divorce papers. Now, she tries everything in the book, but Jake stubbornly says, no, I'm not signing no papers. So Melanie starts getting really nostalgic, and then she still has some lingering feelings about Jake. And I guess you can tell how this film ends. I mean, it's the same formula that Hallmark uses for every single Christmas film. So big city girl moves back to her hometown, I don't know, dumps her super rich boyfriend for, I don't know, being rich, and then she gets back with her ex, or like childhood sweetheart, and they live happily ever after. So that's like my first gripe with this film, because I was like, okay, so first they made Legally Blonde, and then they made this. I don't know. I mean, this doesn't sound very feminist. Like, I don't want to be like, you know, that person, but I don't know. They took like a one step forward and took like two steps back. I don't know. It just something's not right with this trope. There's something very weird about making a woman who's very successful and independent go back to her regressive hometown and fall back in love with someone who's been doing all that. So let's think about the film. Let's think about that. Jake refuses to divorce Melanie for 7 years and keeps sending back his papers. Like, eventually just making it like a lull, a standstill. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds kind of like abuse. That sounds coercive. That doesn't sound right. And okay, I did do some digging, and in America, if your partner ignores the divorce papers and doesn't sign for more than 30 days or like 20 days, sometimes even less, the state actually grants you that divorce. So Melanie would have been free to marry Patrick Dempsey the whole time. So if you're telling me Melanie's super expensive lawyers in New York took 7 years to get her divorce finalized, they would have been America's worst lawyers. I don't know, if only Melanie had some super stylish and super smart lawyer to help her. I don't know, maybe like Elle Woods. It's a massive, massive plot hole, but in order to there be a conflict in the story, I'm guessing why they did this zany plot. Okay, like, regardless of reality and actual legislation, it's still creepy. But this is like the reasoning that Sweet Home Alabama gives us. So, Jake never signs the divorce papers because, in his own heart, he's not giving up on Melanie, and signing those papers would mean that he's giving up on his marriage. The film actually frames his stubbornness as this like profound understanding that he and Melanie are soulmates. If he signs those papers, he's admitting defeat. We also find out in the movie, Jake's actually been to New York, but once he saw how glamorous and sophisticated Melanie's life has become, he was like, right, I need to like get on her level. That's why he's basically pressing pause on their relationship and just didn't doing the whole grind set thing and like I don't know this whole alpha male let's get better and building his own business so to make sure like he's on the same footing with Melanie. So in his mind, he's not actually trapping Melanie into anything. He's just pressing pause. Like he's gonna win her back in equal footing. But there's like a little problem. If you take away this romantic reasoning, Jake's reasoning for this, the reason for him not signing papers, just sounds super, super immature. And also very insecure. He's weaponized this legal loophole to keep Melanie married to him. So this forces a confrontation. So she has to get on a plane and face him in person. Now, in the film, he's not like abusive or anything horrible. Like, obviously, this is a lighthearted comedy. But what if he was? That would really suck. He's basically dragging Melanie down to his level. Like, it's clear that Jake is very insecure of Melanie's success. Like, at one point in the film, he calls her a hoity-toity bitch. So, like, by refusing to sign those papers, he's basically saying, like, oh, you can pretend you're this, like, amazing New York designer, you can change your name to Melanie Carmichael, but legally, you're still Melanie Smooter and you are mine. So he held her life hostage until his success matched hers. His pride mattered more than her actual freedom. That doesn't sound like love to me. Now, the only reason why I'm still watching this film was because of Reese Witherspoon. The opening sequence was cute as hell, I'm not gonna lie. So it's a flashback sequence to when they were kids, and it's like lightning, everything. It's like really, really cutesy. And obviously, Dakota Fannings is playing it. And there's a part where Melanie goes like, oh, why'd you want to marry me? And then Kid Jake, his little southern accent goes like, because I can kiss you anytime I want. And like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm kicking my feet. I'm like giggling, I'm squealing. It's cute as hell. Like, come on. Like, I'm not made of stone. So, like, the only reason why the characters Melanie and Jake work is because Reese Witherspoon is so damn good at playing this high-strung white woman. Like, Melanie comes back to Alabama like a hurricane. She's pissed off, and rightfully so. When she can't get Jake to sign the divorce papers, she empties his bank account. When he goes on a date to his, like, little dive bar, Melanie shows up drunk and hammered. And she also outs one of her, like, cold childhood friends in, like this is in one exchange, but like that's her girl bossing. Who said this film wasn't like girl boss? It had girl bossing, it has gaslighting, it had gatekeeping, it had everything. Okay. Second thing I noticed about this film, it's kind of racist. Like there's a lot of Confederate flags in this film. This film would not have been made today. It really wouldn't have. There's also like no black people in this film. For a film that's set in Alabama, USA. Okay, there's like Melanie's mentor, but he's like this like gay flamboyant black man from New York, obviously. But in this place called Pigeon Creek, Alabama, where Melanie and Jake are from, there's like only two black people I've counted in this film. So there is the maid who works on the plantation. I don't know, that doesn't sound so good. And then there's also the store clerk, but then he's like, a minor character. Now, let me give you like a quick geography and like history lesson. Now, in real life, Alabama is like 24 to 26% black. So statistically, there would have been, for every like four people, there would have been one black person. Alabama is also where a lot of civil rights history has actually happened. Like the Montgomery bus boycott with Rosa Parks. And then there's also the March on Selma with Martin Luther King. So it's like very weird. There's also like just a very there was like almost no black people. Like everybody in that film was white. And then there's also something more insidious. The way they treat the Civil War and like the Confederacy as like this cutesy like little cosplay activity they do out in like these small towns is so weird. Like it seems very subtle. So Melanie's parents have a lot of Confederate flags around the house. Melanie's dad and one of the other characters' like grandfather is really into cosplaying those like Confederate Greys. And then there's a Carmichael plantation where there is a black maid who's happily serving everybody. And you can hear it like without the whole film. It's always like, oh, the Northerners hate us. Oh, like yeah. They always frame the Civil War as like this conflict where the Northerners came in and just like destroyed the South's way of life. I don't know, it kind of echoes a lot of how a lot of white supremacists talk about the Civil War. Like nobody ever says the word what the Civil War was actually about. Slavery. It's like a lot of like this whole sentiment is echoed in like a lot of pro Confederacy like movies like Gone with the Wind. Like Melanie's inner conflict of like New York versus Alabama is like this as well. So like New York's framed as like progressive, diverse, but also very cold and calculating a place. Alabama is framed as conservative, but warm and authentic. So what is this film saying? Is it like saying like to be authentic, like their most authentic self, you have to go back to a place that's very conservative and very white? This film is very much a product of its own time. And like come on, it was made in 200s. Like Hollywood's like method of responding to racism is to literally ignore it. But by erasing the historical context and like black, indigenous, and people of color, I think this film made Pigeon Creek look like a sundown town. The only reason why like the whole cutesy Confederacy cosplay thing worked was because like there were literally no black people. Like slavery is not mentioned at all. Like by erasing and like just excluding any black characters, indigenous characters, or like people of color, like this film sanitized the sad reality of the Civil War, and that's why like audiences were so comfortable with Melanie going back to this like very very conservative and just homogenous town. Like I know everyone in the town would have voted for Trump, and the minute they will see me, they're grabbing their pitchforks. Like here's the thing, I'm not Southern, but yes, I can definitely relate to why someone would want to go back to their hometown. Like every single time when I go back to Hong Kong, my home city, I get super nostalgic. I miss the food, I miss the hustle bustle, and sometimes I think like, okay, like maybe like there were some opportunities I missed here. Like I could have like maybe I should have went back and a different life. So yeah, like I would see why like some people have a reason to like want to move back home. But Melanie, I don't know, girl. Like this place not only is like kind of weird, man. Like besides the racist bit, nobody in Pigeon Creek respects her career. This whole film sets her up like this amazing fashion designer, but like none of the people in Pigeon Creek actually like her career. They all think she's a snob. It's also heavily implied that Jake actually, the only reason why Jake and Melanie are married in the first place was because Jake got her pregnant. And then also Melanie suffered a miscarriage. That's why she ran away to New York. Like, I don't know, why would Melanie want to go back to something so traumatic? And her parents who like to cosplay the Confederacy, like, they don't really care. They actually want her to get back with Jake. But okay, like, what's even more baffling is that Melanie's mom is like, no, you should leave Pigeon Creek and get as far away you can. So, like, what do the screenwriters want Melanie to do? To stay? Or third reason why this film was confusing as hell. Why the hell would you reject Patrick Dempsey? Like, in what world? That's the second most unrealistic part of the film. The first being, like, why there are no black people in Alabama. It's Patrick fucking Dempsey. Like, I'm not saying the guy who played Jake, Josh Lucas, wasn't good looking as well. Like, I see the appeal. Like, Josh Lucas looked good as hell when he showed up. Like, a little all scuffed and everything. Like, I get it. I love watching boys, like, do manual labor. Sue me. But Patrick Dempsey's character was, like, way too perfect. He's got brown hair, he's got money, he's a Democrat. That's JFK Jr., baby. That's JFK Jr. His character also proposes at Tiffany's by, like, renting the whole place out. And he was like, baby, pick what you want. And I was like, girl, this guy... I was just, like, twirling my hair. Like, I was like, ooh. But then, Melanie dumps him. And I was like, girl, how could you fumble this? Like, listen, if you dump a rich Democrat who supports your art career, girl, what are you doing? The reason why this part of the film didn't work was not only is he very, very good looking, like, God, Patrick Dempsey, sign me up, but they made him too perfect. They made Patrick Dempsey's character too perfect in this film. So in this film, like, Patrick Dempsey's character, Andrew, like, surprises Melanie by flying down to Alabama and seeing her. And, like, rightfully so, he gets mad when he realizes that Melanie's been lying to him the entire time. But he still calms down. He listens out. He goes, visits her parents, and he's like super kind about it. And he's so understanding. And he's like, he's like, I love you still, no matter what. And then when she leaves him in the altar, he's calm. He's cool. He's fine with it. Like, this man seemed like a little too perfect. Like, the only way, like, maybe the not so perfect part was like, it's like heavily implied that like he only proposes to Melanie because like um he's like, okay, like I'm just doing this to piss my mom off. But like, I don't know, he's like calm and understanding, and he's like, he accepts her and everything, and I'm like, wait, why is he kind of perfect? Like, okay, if they made him a little bit more evil, I would understand. But this guy was beautiful in this film. Like, he was.
Aww.
I just couldn't. I didn't understand why. Overall, this has been a very confusing and weird film. Yes, it's a little bit racist. Yes, I don't like the trope of, a woman going back to her hometown and, like, giving everything for her ex. Especially kind of an abusive, weird legal situation. And then third of all, it was like, why not Patrick Dempsey? I'm still figuring it out, Like, girl, if you're not gonna play, pass the controller. Free finger right here. Like, I couldn't think so hard for this film. Like, the only reason why I kept watching this, like I said, was because of the charm of Reese Witherspoon and Josh Lucas. Like, they have good banter. Not gonna lie, they do have good banter in the whole film. And also, I was also very delirious and sick, and there was like nothing else to watch. So that's why I watched it. And I'll never get that, like, I don't know, 1.5 hour back. I give this movie a rating of 2 out of 5. One for Reese Witherspoon and the other one for the Tiffany scene because, yeah, I'm waiting for that. That sounds good. Patrick Dempsey, I'm right here, girl. I'm right here. I'm here for you. If you like this zany video that I did, please give it a like, maybe subscribe, or don't. I know, like, for every like you give, I will donate $1 for Melanie to find better lawyers. Because Jesus Christ, 7 years, dude? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Well, see ya. Bye.